Hello everyone, Cass is here and welcome to another episode of Basics of Redstone. In this episode I'll talk about memory cells and how they work. Specifically I'll talk about the RS NOR latch, which is this thing over here. It's a memory cell with 1 bit of information. I'll explain that later. Meanwhile, the best, in my opinion, is that the RAM I'll show you in the last episode, in the fourth one, Latch. Well, let's start for the beginning. One bit of information, it's just one wire that can be off, sending a 0, or can be on, sending a 1. Well, now we have this. Which is this? This is a pretty simple circuit. What does this circuit does? This is an easy circuit. Like you see, we can with these wires over here. This is the RS NOR latch. The rest are inputs and outputs. This is just one torch turning off another torch, which means that only one of them can be on at the same time. So if we turn off this torch, this wall will turn on and turn off this permanently. As you see, I'm not pressing the button anymore, but this torch has turned on and has turned off the other one. The same over here. So now this is what we call a 0. This is the output. So now it's giving a 0. Or this torch, you can get the output of this torch. For example, it's giving a 0. And this is the inverted output. So it's the output with inverted signal. And the inputs are two inputs. The first one, which is the set, it's the one which turns the memory to 1, from 0 to 1. You see, now it's a 1. But if it's 1, it will not turn again to 0. For that, you need the reset input. The reset input does exactly the opposite. Turns from 1 to 0 again. So we want this output over here, and the other one is only useful sometimes. So that's the basic of this one. It's a bit, so it's only 1 0 or 1 1, a 0 or a 1, only one piece of information. This is the reduced version. It's exactly the same. This torch is turning on this wire, which is turning off this torch. And if we give power to this torch, in a moment, it will turn on, and this one will turn on permanently, turning off this. So the same, exactly the same. But this one is really better because it's one wide only. It's really better to have things like that, to stack them, which is very useful for more information. Well, you see the output can be taken from this. This is the inverted output. So if you want the normal output, you can just invert again, or you can take it from there, from this torch. That's the normal output, and that's the inverted output. And as you can see, this is perfect for a stack. For example, here we have 4 bits of information. Each one of these can be 1 or 0, setting from this side and resetting from this other side. We also have this. As you see, it's exactly the same, but I put these things over here, which just the only thing that do is it will turn on all this wire so we can set them same time, well, with a little delay, or reset them, all of them, with only one click. You see, right? As I said before, when it's already at 0, you can make it 0 again. You need to I'm not very good at explaining things. What I mean, it's the set button only sets and the reset button only resets. It's not a flip-flop which you can attach to the number of buttons you want, the number of inputs you want. You need one input to turn on and one input to turn off. So let's get to the next thing. I'll make it day. This is pretty useful because as you see, I've put a repeater going to the next bit of information. And what does this do? As I've said you before, what does this torch turn on? It's turning this off. So when this turns off, this wire will turn off and this torch will get on again. But this is a little thing that I put from making it go in a specific order. So if you haven't turned this one off before, this cannot be turned off. I'll show you. See, this repeater turns off, but this one is still on, so this torch will never turn on. But if we turn off the first one, the repeater will turn off, so we can enter the second one. This is perfect for combination locks, number locks, and stuff like that. That you need a specific order. So if another feature that this thing have, it's, I'm talking really bad now. My throat is a little bad this morning. Well, another thing this order thing do is that when you reset the first one or the second one or any one of them, the one that are next to the later in the order will turn on. I don't know if you get me. You can see that. See if I can explain it with image. If I turn off this, if I reset this, all the ones which are later in the order, which are next in the order, will turn on, but the first one will not. So when we reset the first one, all of them reset. When we reset the second one, the third and the fourth reset also, and etc. And this is pretty useful because, as I've said, with one you have one bit, so you have two combinations, or a 0 or a 1. But with two of them you have four combinations: 0 1, 0 0 0, which is now 0 0 1, 1 0, and 1 1. What does it mean? This is exponential. This is binary. I'll not enter in this too much now. It's a little bit complicated. But what does it? It's like the number of possible combinations. It's 2 elevated to exponentially to the number of bits. So if we have 3 bits, we don't have 6 combinations. We have 8, and for 4 bits we have 16. 5 bits, 32 combinations, which is pretty useful because we can have a lot of different numbers, a lot of different combinations, 8 for example, in just 3 ways, which will reduce the number of wires and the space a lot. For example, we can have 0 0 0, 0 0 1, 010 etc. And this thing I have over here, I'll put some levers. It's a decoder. I'll not explain this, I'll make a tutorial later. So this converts this signal of combinations in a number. For example, 0 0, this one is the 0 is on, 0 1, second is on, 1 0, the third is on, and 1 1, the fourth is on. You see, right? This is pretty useful because with a little memory putting in binary, you can make a lot of numbers. But still, I think that memory over here, the RAM I showed you in the last episode, in the fourth one, but and else, it's the better, because as I said, you need to reset them to overwrite. This one not. So if you let's simulate this is a NOR latch. If you want, this is in 1, for example. Let's will it quickly, and it's now okay. If you have this in 1, if you want to put a 0 or to put another 1, you have if you, for example, want to change from 0 1 to 1 0, you have to reset all of them and then put the ones you want. But with this one, you don't need, you just write the number and overwrite. For example, you have 1 0 1 and write it, and you don't need to reset. If you want 1 1 0 0, for example, you just press it and overwrites. It's a lot of times faster and it's better, easy to make. I make a tutorial on this, but much later when I show you logic things like this. This is part of the computer I'm building, a pretty simple one. This is the other that sums. This one is the, I don't know the words in English. This one multiplicates and stuff like that. So I'll make more tutorials, but I think this one was not the last. I'll make one more, basics of Redstone, about ordering pistons for making dual extenders and ABBA switches and stuff like that. And then I will be finished with basics of Redstone. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial. A like or a subscribe will be appreciated. If you want to say something, leave it in the comments, and bye.